Hi guys, in today's video I'd like to do an in-depth how-to on contour and highlighting because a lot of my friends have mentioned to me that they have absolutely no idea what they're doing, and that's absolutely okay, and I'd like to, share my knowledge with you. What little bit I have. I am trying to become a makeup artist, so I do have kind of an idea about it. Am I babbling? So, I already have a layer of foundation on that just matches my skin tone, nothing special there. So the first part I like to do with highlighting and contouring is the highlighting. So I'm grabbing a concealer that's about 1 to 2 shades lighter than my skin tone, and I'm going to put this underneath my eyes in a triangular shape, but I don't like to use too much of this particular one, so I just like to do some dottage. And then like going around here. I also like to do my chin. Anything that the light would light up. So very little bit on the nose. Up into this area. There's a bunch of face charts online if you just type in highlight and contour face chart. You can get a pretty good idea of what you should be doing, especially if you know your face shape. You can get one specifically geared towards your face, but for the most part they're going to be kind of similar. It just depends on angles and stuff. So you're going to blend that out with a damp beauty sponge. It's really hard to see on camera just what that did, but in person you can see that it really it added another layer of dimension to my face, so it's not just one, one color. Now I don't do this on a daily basis, but I thought if I'm doing a basic highlight contour video, I should mention cream contours. So this is a contour kit from Anastasia, Beverly Hills. Nyx makes some. A lot of different brands make them, so you don't have to buy this particular expensive kit because it is quite pricey. And I really only use a couple shades anyway, so it was kind of a bad choice. But you could just find some cream concealers in darker colors works. Stuff like that. So I'm going to be grabbing this shade right here in the middle, Light Sculpt. And I'm going to put that, like I said, this kind of works, but for my particular face shape, I like to go up a little bit higher, so you kind of want to start by where the top of the ear would go. So right in here, I just put a little bit. Just like that. And this is going to give you a more slim looking face. I wouldn't really go any farther than about the middle of the eye. See, like right here, this is about as far as you should take it. You can also contour the sides of your nose a little bit. And if you don't like the size of your forehead, or you want to make your forehead look smaller, you can come into this little area here. Since my forehead isn't huge, I'm just going to do a teensy little bit just to show you. And you can also do your jawline. That can make you look like you have a slimmer neck. So like right there. And I like to pull it down a little bit here. Take your beauty blender and just start blending it all out. You don't want it to look obvious, so if you don't see any change, that's really not that bad of a thing. Cream contour isn't my favorite just because I feel like I can do a lot more of an effective job with powders. But I thought I'd demonstrate it for you. So I'm going to set my entire face with a loose translucent setting powder, and I'll show you how to do powder versions of everything. So now that my face is completely set with powder, I'm going to go in with my favorite bronzer, which is the Too Faced Sweethearts bronzer in Sweet Tea. It's a very, like, it's got a warm side and a cool side. I think when you mix them together, it gets a really, like, perfect shade. So I like to just leave in the middle and then knock off any excess just in case, to be safe. Now with bronzer, bronzer is not contour, contour is not bronzer, but that's like a different topic altogether. So with bronzer, you're just going to give yourself a more sun-kissed, healthy glow. So you can kind of dust this, not everywhere, but anywhere the sun would like hit you if you were to step outside and like get a little tan on your face. So I like to like brush it here. So I like to sweep it into the blush area just to kind of warm it up, because if I don't wear bronzer, I kind of look dead. So this helps bring me back to life. Do it on the bridge of the nose. I like to run it around here. Just enough to make me look alive again. And when I go around my entire face like that, there's like barely anything left on it. I'm not like going in with a fresh dip from the pan. I'm just trying to blend it all out now. So I always use a really light hand with this, by the way. Now, for contour, if you're pale like me, which maybe this should be, like, this is pretty much a pale person's guide to contour and highlight, because I know when you're pale, it's very hard to find shades that you can really, like, use. So, a really good option for pale people. On the affordable end, we have this NYX Blush in the shade Taupe. It's a very cool tone brown, which is really what you should be looking for, especially if you're pale when it comes to contour colors, because contouring is supposed to be a shadow on your face, and shadows do not have warmth because the sun doesn't hit a shadow. It's like the opposite. On the more expensive end, we have the Benefit Hoola bronzer, which is personally my favorite because it's a little bit, oh, it's warmer, but they both work really great. So just pick one or both. If you're like me, pick both. I do like this one because it's lighter. It is warmer, but it's lighter, so you can kind of get away with it more. Am I making sense? If you have any questions, if nothing makes sense, please ask me in the comments below. I'll probably have many more things to say later than I will right now, just because I'm in the moment. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of both of these. So I'm just gonna dunk in both, and then I wish you could see all the powder coming off. It's a lot. So when it comes to contouring, it's a little bit more precise than bronzing, so you're really gonna stick to where you put that cream bronzer, but you're gonna make sure you blend upwards, because if any of it falls below that, it won't really help that effect you're trying to go for of making your cheekbones look slimmer. It's just gonna look like you've got a big splash of brown. So I like to do that some more and really just stay above it. I kind of like to look forward and just see the effect coming into play as we speak. And you can see already this side of my face looks a little bit more defined and slim than this side. I hope, anyway. Once again, you can redo this spot up here And I sometimes like to do this area just so I feel like it makes my face look even skinnier, which is really the goal we're going for here. Blending is important though. You never want to leave a streak on your face. I mean, you can, but like, it's not the goal. I'm also, before I move on to the nose, I'm going to go back under here again. And I like to drag this all the way down to my neck. And now, using the Benefit Hoola bronzer on my nose, I'm just gonna get a teeny little bit and run down the sides of my nose like that. I almost want to use a different brush, like a smaller brush, just to be even more precise. But I'm in a hurry right now because my thing's overheating. And if you go a little overboard, you can always just use your beauty blender and like bring it back in with some soft little pads. Pounces. I don't know. Alright, I'm going to add a little bit of blush just to brighten my face up. Because, you know, the whole point is like healthy, glowing. Blush is part of that. I'm using MAC's Gentle, by the way, which I think is beautiful. The last step to this is highlighting, which they have the same name, but this is completely different. This is like strobing. So I love strobing. I do it every day, whether I'm wearing a full face of makeup or not. So this, you're just going to find the very tops of your cheekbones, which is usually above your blush, which is this area right here. And that's where you're going to add your stroby strobes. And for my fair skin, I like this Laura Gellar Charming Pink. Oh, it's so gorgeous. And if you want to go a little bit more, you can do the bridge of your nose. You could do the tip of your nose. You do the Cupid's bow. And if you're feeling like you want it to be just everywhere, you could do it right above the brow. I hope that answered some of your questions about contouring and highlighting. If you still feel that you have more questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments below. I will respond to all of them, promise. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!